Right, well, go on, good people.
Hello, friends.
Hope you're all feeling good. Welcome to the selection of sports once again. I'm JC Kamau.
This is Amino speaking here.
Um, right, so yeah, we're just gonna have a quick chit chat about things that made us disappointed in football. Once again, we were speaking about it last week with the Italian newspaper, talking about Black Friday. Not last week, look, just a couple of days ago we were speaking about that. We were saying how racism likes to rear its ugly head every now and again, because it's in sports. The reason why it rears its ugly head because Europeans have not eradicated it from their society yet, from their race. So every now and again you see a European person in a sporting arena, tends to be football, abusing someone of a different ethnicity. It tends to be someone of African descent, which Fred was. He's Brazilian, but obviously a lot of Brazilians are of African descent, as due to slavery and different.
The history.
Yes, yes. Unfortunately, it takes away from the football, which was a good game, interesting game. Both of us were wrong in our predictions. You said it would be a draw. I said it would be a Manchester City win.
What score did you predict?
I didn't really say a scoreline.
Okay, so that means my prediction was closer than yours, because I predicted a 1-1 or 2-2.
Okay. But it still wasn't that close because you thought it was going to be a draw, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
So we were both wrong.
In the end,
yeah. So we'll go into the whole foolishness, because it turns out the guy has been arrested but released on bail.
His employer has suspended him.
Oh, okay, that's good. At least they found out who he was. My issue is the fact that they never released the person's name. When it comes to, there's lots of times it happens.
Yeah.
But they don't release the person's name, so that person keeps is allowed to be anonymous, allowed to go about their day-to-day business, and not being named and shamed.
Well, just before we got online, I was reading an article, and in that article they were saying that he was named and shamed.
Oh, okay.
So it may be that he has been exposed.
In the article, did it have his name in the article, or was it just...
No, but they had a link in the article where he did mention the journalist mentioned that he was named and shamed.
Oh, okay. I will look out for that. I would like to go online and find out who this person is, just in case I come across him. Okay, he probably lives in Manchester.
Yeah.
But you never know. You might venture down to London one day.
Yeah.
And you might come across him, and give him a good taste of our medicine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, we might be in Manchester one day.
Yeah,
so.
that too. And you hear somebody giving you racist abuse, you're like, oh, it's that guy again. Anyway, what did you think of the match?
I didn't watch it.
Oh, okay.
So I can't really comment.
What do you think of the result then?
Well, Manchester United beat Tottenham in midweek. They won a high, so it's a big result for them. Obviously, for City, it's another setback, and it's put them 14 points behind. So it makes things almost impossible now to catch Liverpool this season.
So, yeah, the Manchester derby. Unfortunately, it was marred by the racist attack. What do you think? Football will be able to get racism out of?
Not 100%, because obviously there will always be a few people who will come and think they can get away with it, or they want to release some kind of frustration when they come into the stadium, because they're within a group, and maybe when they're within 100,000 group, they feel like they can get away with it. But obviously there's modern technology, etc., which can pick out somebody in the stadium.
I don't care about whether they're getting away with it.
Well, if they're in a crowd, they will, but if it's one-on-one, then obviously somebody can say, well, he's a racist, and then maybe 5-10 other people.
No, what it is, one, they're ignorant, two, they're pussies, really and truly, because he would never go up to Fred face to face and say it to his face. He would do it from the stands where he's protected by the barriers, and where it's like we was watching that documentary about that Ian Wright was hosting the other day, and he was talking about Eric Cantona kicking a man in, jumping into the crowd and kicking a man.
Yeah.
If that happened more often, people might stop doing it, things like that. But obviously they don't go into prison and hopefully, as you say, the guy's lost his job and he never gets another job and he's totally shamed and has a hard life for the rest of his life, because people like that should not have good lives.
Yeah, I mean, for racism it has to be zero tolerance, and the punishment has to be severe enough for people to understand that it's not acceptable.
But also it's a failure in society as well, is the fact that the governmental system, the education system has not educated these people enough to stop their ignorance.
Yeah.
If there was more documentaries on the television about these people showing their greatness, if you saw more wonderful documentaries about Brazilian people, about their music and their culture, people knew a bit more about them as opposed to just every now and again around carnival, people might have a different appreciation about these people. But unfortunately, European societies like to bring ignorance into the foray by not educating people.
Yeah, I must say that it's one person out of maybe 60,000, so maybe it's a minority of people who are willing to come out and be open about their racism.
But there's a lot of people who are still racist but just don't say stuff. And that's the problem.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you can eradicate racism 100%, but at least when there's a chance to make a statement and to punish somebody for it, then we have to take that opportunity.
Well, I do think you can eradicate racism.
Well,
it's due to education.
Okay.
And educating people about.
But I think there will always be an element of racism within any society. I think it's like saying
racism comes from fear of the unknown, and once you know what you're doing, or know the people that you're being racist against, there'll be less chance of racist things happening.
Yeah, that's true.
The reason why someone may, once people are informed about different cultures, the reason why someone may dislike another culture or people from another culture would be more justified. It will be more due to a personal attack on the person, and you may not, and it wouldn't be, you wouldn't dislike the whole race. You would dislike certain individuals in that particular race, as opposed to what's happened now.
Yeah, that's the problem. When people do have an issue, they use race as a way to attack somebody, and they can't judge a whole society or a whole group of people just based on one or two or three experiences.
Exactly, because if other races did that, i.e. African races, Asian races, Indian races, did that for Europeans, who have had many individuals that are wicked to and mistreated these other races. If those races, it's like you look at South Africa. South Africans should really blow up every white person that lives in South Africa. But they don't, because they're not ignorant like that. They're not stupid like that. And they understand that everyone's a human beings and people have different different mentalities and people can change.
There are also blacks who are part of the problem as well. For those people who are having problems, because they're also I don't know if they're being racist to their own people, but they're maybe they're not doing enough, or maybe they're just being passive. But you mentioned South Africa, so I think it's not just whites who may be to blame.
Before you say Carol and say something foolish, let's end there.
No, have you seen S.O.S, the film?
Yes, I'm still going to end it there.
Okay.
Rubbish now.
I'll tell you. I mean, this wasn't really.